Hey YouTube, what is up? I decided to make this video a little early in the morning today for you guys. Basically, I'm going to discuss whether or not that I think that this set, Battle of Legend Heroes Revenge, is actually worth purchasing. Now, do I personally think that Battle of Legend Heroes Revenge is going to be a decent set? Yes. Battle of Legends sets tend to be pretty good regardless. A lot of the smaller cards tend to increase with time. This is more of a quick overview, just a quick way to glance to see if this set matches what your needs are personally for this set. Pardon the coffee. I might have mentioned it. It is actually very early in the morning for me, which is like 9 a.m. But do I think that Battle of Legend Heroes Revenge is a set worth buying? Let's dig into it. The way I normally go about this is I just hop onto TCG Player, especially during pre-release times. I might also go into eBay to see what pre-sale prices are. I then go to Yu-Gi-Oh! And then I scroll down to the set, click the set. In this instance, I'm not going to do that because I have the set already open. And the last thing I do is I set products by price high to low. Now, the first thing to take a note of is the price of the booster box itself, $65. Pretty much, not too bad. Pretty much the median, 64, I guess 31. Means that this set isn't, going to sell like gangbusters like Dark Saviors. It doesn't mean this set's short printed or anything like that, so you don't have to scramble to your local Walmart to hope they have like hanger packs or anything like that, like people are doing with Dark Saviors. It means that the set is fully printed, and it means that the demand for it isn't necessarily the highest. Usually when a booster box is like $75, $80, that means that there's some good cards in there and the print isn't that low either. Anyway, the first card we're going to take a look at, because we're setting price high to low, even though apparently TCG Player doesn't know that 7 is higher than 13. But anyway, Borrelsword Dragon. This is the one card in this set that I think is actually short printed. I don't know how to say it other than that. I think that this card is going to be short printed because this is the guarantee that it's going to be in here. It's been mentioned that it's going to be in here for quite a long time. It has caused the price of regular Borrelsword to drop from I think it's like $70, $80 price point down quite a bit. And the reason I think this card is going to be short printed is because we don't have confirmation of this card being in a tin. Now, we do have confirmation of cards like Sky Striker Engage being in the tin, or at least Sky Striker cards in general, especially Engage. But that's the thing. Borrelsword could be short printed in this. They could definitely reprint the card in the Mega Tin. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm saying it's actually pretty likely. But Borrelsword Dragon hasn't been mentioned to be in the tin, so I think they could short print it in this product, and then that would also help push sales of the tin further on, if they decide to put it in there. Short printing Borrelsword also pushes this set because this is pretty much the chase card. This is the one card that everybody's after. Even Engage is only down to about $13 at this point. And still, the set doesn't come out for another 2 days if you go to an OTS. Magical Musketeer Max, very, very good card for the deck. It is basically like the Raid Raptor link for the Raid Raptor deck. Unfortunately, we're not getting that Raid Raptor link. That is a card that would have definitely pushed this deck, push this set a little higher. Magical Musketeer Max, already at $8. That means it's probably pretty easy to pull. The ratios aren't that bad. Ultra rare, not bad. It is a very good card for the deck. It does a lot for the deck, and I personally will be picking up copies of this because I did pick up Musketeer, I think, Caspar before, and that's pretty much the most expensive card for that deck. I was looking for a fun deck to play, so definitely a card I'm going to pick up, and this is what I usually decide, or this is what I usually say to do, is find out what you need personally from a set. Do I need Borrelsword? No, I have one, and that's all you need for Borrelsword. You don't need multiple copies. Magical Musketeer Max, you could go with multiple copies if you wanted to because the link just kind of breaks their deck. Engage, definitely want multiple copies. You want 3 of that. And speaking of that, because people are going to be wanting 3 of them, the pricing is usually higher for a card that's a 3 of than a card you need singles of. And at that point, Sky Striker Engage, before the set comes out, 2 days before the set comes out, is already down to $12.50. At this point, I would go and check what the original Engage price is at, and I would definitely pick up my playset either now or once the Megaton comes out because we're getting Engage again. Although that probably means we're going to get a ban list imminent because usually when Konami gives us the old 1-2 reprint special, we get a ban list on the next week. Engage, definitely a good card, definitely a card you need 3 of. The price, not that high, and this really is the, I think, first reprint since the original set, even though the price of that card has decreased, especially because the deck got hit on ban lists twice at this point, even though the Hornet Thrones one really didn't hurt them that much. Blackluster Soldier, Soldier of Chaos. This card I'm not too familiar with, to be honest. I don't know what it does. The price seems a little high on it, but that might just be because it's a show archetype link monster, and we don't have many of those. This one I'm going to write off for the moment. I think it'll probably be like $7, $8, kind of like the Magician Ritual we had in the, I think, Dual Power set. Not necessarily a relevant card, but you know, it looks like a show card, and then the price is higher as a result. Psyframe Lord Lambda. This is a card that I personally need, and this is a card that I think personally could drop a little bit. This is a very, very good card. It will help the meta move along. It'll progress the format that we're in. It is also very relevant because people are playing Gamma already regardless. You know, separate of the fact that Lambda is coming out, people are playing Gamma because it's such a strong card. Lambda just kind of increases Gamma's usability. So I think that this card is very good. I think that the market prices are kind of irrelevant at this point because there's no average really to base them off of. $20, not too shabby, especially because it's secret rare. Means it's harder to pull, means there's just less of them in general. But I do think that this card could drop a little bit as well. It could probably drop to the like maybe $15, $14 mark. I don't see it being huge. That's the best way to put it. I don't think I'm going to see people playing like 3 copies of this. It's definitely a card you could play 1 copy of in your extra deck if you want to play Gamma. If you don't play Gamma, you don't play Lambda, and as a result, the card is not necessarily a mandatory combo piece for any deck. Almirage, this card, there is a lot of Salamangreat players, and because their Salamangreat deck is very cheap, I have one as well. I'm not saying that, like, you know, you are a cheap player. I'm just saying it's not too hard to build Salamangreats cost-wise. Good cost, you know, to playability standpoint, to be honest. Almirage, good card, $20, a little too high. I think it's going to drop. Widow Anchor, $10, could drop feasibly to $5 once the set releases. At that point, I wouldn't even buy this one. I just buy the original one because this is also secret rare, so why not just get the first one? Harpy's Conductor, Utopia Kaiser. So it seems like from here on this point, it's pretty much nonsense. So based on what I've seen here, personally, I would not buy a booster box if I needed to pull the cards that I wanted to pull. That's the way to go about it. I'm not saying you shouldn't buy a booster box. It depends on what cards you want out of this set. If the cards you want are lower rarity and you want multiple copies of, buying a booster box is actually very efficient because you don't have to like wheel and deal and trade people. It's not the most cost efficient, but it is the most time efficient because usually out of a booster box you can pull playsets of a couple of the ultra rares, and if those are the cards you need, then it's not too, you know, bad to do. It's not an uncommon thing to just buy a booster box to get like the bulk from the set. I wouldn't buy a booster box necessarily to try and pull just Boral Sword Dragon rather. If I needed a Boral Sword, then I wouldn't buy necessarily a booster box. I'd just spend the $25 right now and buy a box because I'd be saving myself $40 if that's the only card I needed. Plus, I think that this actually, you know, it might decrease at the start, but I think this will be short printed, so I think it might actually increase just based on how hard it is to pull. But other than that, I personally would not buy a booster box to pull the cards I needed. If you need different cards than I do and you buy a booster box, you're not dumb. You just figured out what suits you best. I'm not trying to like dictate what you guys should do or anything like that, so just keep that in mind. Anyway, there is one caveat where I would suggest buying an entire booster box, even a case, and that would be this. Apparently, certain people already have their cases, and certain people noticed that their cards are all misprinted without the Eye of Anubis. That is pretty cool. These will definitely be slightly higher in price. I don't know how widespread this is, but if it's a one case thing, like you could also see the ratios, by the way. One Boral Sword to all these cards. So there's one Boral Sword, a little short printed right there. These 2 cards definitely going to pick up Secret Rays. But other than that, Engage 2 of, not really that short printed. Widow Anchor 1 might actually be short printed. Almirage 2 of, not short printed, so the price isn't going to be high. Lambda 2 of, not short printed. Boral Sword 1 short printed. But anyway, these cards do not have the Eye of Anubis, and their price as a result is going to be significantly higher. This is where I would pick up this Engage as opposed to the original because that is a misprint. It looks really cool. I quite enjoy misprints, as is my Jinzo Jar video definitely made apparent. But this is the one caveat where I'd buy pretty much a whole case and then build like, you know, a really, really cool deck out of it, or like swap out some of my cards, because a misprint Boral Sword, even the reprint version, is still rarer than the original version first edit, in my mind at least. Anyway, I just wanted to let you guys know that this is out there, to keep an eye on it, to see if your packs are like that. If you buy one pack from a booster box and it's like this, buy the other packs. Definitely buy all of them. And don't scream when it happens, because then you won't be able to buy them. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments down below if you're going to be buying a booster box of this set, if you think that is personally worth it for you, what cards you are looking for from this set, and if you think I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. I'm down to discuss. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to click like and subscribe because it's free, it's fun, and I'll see you in the next one.